There are certain things, although HR may not be doing sales, but HR in one way or the other, even if you're not part of learning and development, HR is very much intertwined with how the sales team is being developed. Right? So that's part of it. So we also have an assessment that assesses salespeople's abilities. It's based on different sales situations and how the salespeople respond to the different sales situation. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is sometimes we have HRs scoring much better on those, not just a little better, but much better on those assessments than the salespeople. Right, so there are a lot of HRs, either you've attended a lot of trainings, but you kind of know a lot about sales, then we realize. So this is me, I do coaching as well. I recently have been awarded a Certified Speaking Professional Award and a whole list of different assessment tools and this is the book. So, question here is, HR is a critical partner for driving sales team performance. If you agree, can you just raise your hand? Anyone disagree? None about business? No business? Everyone agree. Right, so if that is the case, then where do we start? How do we start building or driving great sales performance, not just of a single salesperson, but the whole team, the whole business as a whole? So the thing to do is how you develop a winning sales culture. And how we mean by that is some elements. I'm sure you can Google it, you can AI this. There's a list of about 20 over criteria that makes a winning sales culture. This is some that, not too many, that I find that it's more critical than others. So the first thing is your company customer-centric enough? Are you willing to look at a customer and figure out how you can help your customers get the outcomes? So the customers want to do something, and salespeople, of course, we want to sell them something, but in the process of selling the customer something, are we also helping the customer achieve what they eventually want? So in a lot of our companies are B2B, so a lot of industrials, a lot of chemical companies, or IT companies, and in B2B selling, we have the saying that, when you deal with your customers as a B2B sales, you are not just selling, you are helping your customers to win over their customers. Right? There's something you do that goes into the ingredients, the processes, and it goes into something that the customer did that will eventually help them to win over their customers. So it's about how customer-centric you are in helping your customers reach their goals. Two is, in your own case, you have a clear purpose and goal. What is your market positioning? What are the key elements? What are the key competitive advantages that you are providing to the market? Why do you exist, and what problems are you trying to solve in the market? So, and a lot of times, a lot of sales teams, they got very good salespeople, and sometimes they fail because the goals are not clear. On one hand, they may be trying to win over a high-end customer because they got more budgets, they can buy higher priced items, and the next day they start to say, no, we want to go mass market, we want to go for a lower end, we want to give bigger discounts to a different segment of markets, and sometimes that can be confusing for sales people as well. Data-driven sales, I also see a lot of experienced sales managers, sales directors, making decisions based on gut feel. And there's nothing wrong with gut feel on its own. It's just that there are a lot of information, there's a lot of data that they can use to make better decisions. They can combine that gut feel, that intuition, with the data that they get. So one key example is sales directors like, again, there are a bunch of HRs here, sales directors like to hire people that are like them. So the idea is, if I can be successful in this company, then everybody else must be somehow like me. Right? So that's the mindset. But they don't understand that in sales, sometimes you need people who are able to develop new businesses. You need people to be able to take care of existing customers. You sometimes need people to be able to do more servicing and so on. So you may have to have a different mix of talent in the same team. And also different regions, different markets, different industries, by servicing different industries, may require different types of salespeople as well. And it's not just based on your intuition, people should look like me. It's about what kinds of people and what skills do they have are you looking for. And this is just one example of being data-driven in sales. Sales is all about accountability and ownership. I think a lot of people know that. You don't just feel that the target has been set because the boss tells you what to do. It's about you really believe that it's something that needs to be done and it's really beneficial, not just for the company, but also for your own career as well. Especially about being resilient in sales, especially for this year. We have a lot of people who lost their best customers, not because they don't provide good products anymore. It's just the way the market is. Old customers are not buying anymore or buying a lot lesser. So it's about how you are being resilient enough to try to look for new ones and target newer customers. Trust between yourself and the customer, trust between yourself and your bosses, by the way, there's this saying in sales where the best salespeople are not just the ones who can sell to external customers. The best salespeople are the ones that can sell externally and internally. A lot of times when you want to deliver something unique, special for your customer, it requires a lot of collaboration internally to deliver the customer. So if you want to do that, it's about, are you able to gather your own company's internal people and service customer? And of course, it's all about a supportive environment. When salespeople make mistakes, as salespeople, even the best salespeople make mistakes all the time, do you penalize the mistake or do you help one another to learn from the mistake? Right? So that's something just. It looks the same, it looks similar for a lot of winning culture, just that these are some of the things that I find very unique to very relevant to sales teams. So that's about culture. So it's about having a strong sales leadership. And this is Fabrizio. We used to work with this company called HR Family. This is a long story. They did a lot of research about sales and salespeople and all that, and we found that less than 15% of superstar salespeople succeed in management. So companies love to promote their top sales to be sales managers. Right? Unfortunately, they are good in selling. They may not be that good in managing and leading people and helping people and supporting people. So it's not there. It's not quite the same. And also, a lot of new sales managers, newly promoted sales managers, regret that they become sales managers. Because normally, when you become sales managers, either you inherit a team that is not so great, or you have to build your own team. And in the first couple of years, sometimes 3 years, your team's sales results are not going to be good anyway. You need to start things from scratch, so you don't really have outstanding sales performance despite what you're trying to do. And as a result, you find that you end up doing a lot more work and getting less pay as compared with the time that you're just a salesperson. So even for salespeople, if they want to go into sales management, a lot of people love to go into management because, especially in China, if you have old classmates schedule, right? If you are meeting up with the old uni classmates, and if you never change your name cards in 2 years, you're a loser. You're a salesperson 2 years ago. 2 years later, you're just a salesperson. right? You need to advance in your career, right? So a lot of people want to get the title without understanding what are the roles and responsibilities and additional work that comes with that title. Right? And it's companies want to just warn people, let them understand that this could be the case, right? You may want to hire the right salesperson for the right purpose. And what do I mean by right salesperson? Now, there are salespeople that we call farmers. These are the people who are good in working with existing customers. So they're good in building relationships with existing customers. They know who are the key influencers. They know who are the champions who help them. They know who are the decision makers and economic buyers for different projects. They know everything about a customer, but they are not that good in developing new customers. So only about 50% of key account managers are good in developing new businesses. Then the other thing is the other way around. The people who are very aggressive and assertive and are always out there to get business for a company, they are horrible in servicing existing customers. So you can call it different personality traits and so on. So usually there are different groups of people. Now in an economic downturn like this, in times where it's economic hardships like this, what's going to happen is a lot of companies will try to make their existing salespeople who are very much likely to be farmers and ask them to hunt for new businesses. Right? It can be done. Even though it's mentioned it's only 90%, a lot of people can still do it, but it requires a lot more skills development, it requires a lot more monitoring, it requires a lot more willpower, it requires a lot more support in order for these people to do the jobs of these people. Right? I do understand that in times like this, we are going to have headcount freeze anyway. We cannot hire any of these people. The other thing is, it's also unlikely that we are going to fire all of these people to hire these people. Not going to happen. The practical and feasible way is to try to make these people do some business development work. This is just that this shows the kind of challenges that we are going to face, and there could be ways on how we can work around it. About 65% of salespeople fail to have succeeded in the right type of sales position for the right skills. So it's a matter of how you want to place the right people for the skills. So, and this is why we are here today. I mean, the reason Miko is doing recruitment, Fabrizio is doing OD organization development, I'm doing sales training, and at some point of time, sometimes if you want to hire the perfect candidate, may not be that easy. They may not be available, or they may be available, just that you cannot afford them. It's a fact of life, and we'll show that later. So sometimes we may want to hire people that are not fantastic fit, and we'll try to see how we can develop them. 6% of the sales position failures are related to individuals with the wrong skills for position. If you think back your careers, you'll probably find that, hey, we just hired the top sales from a competitor. We should have doubled our sales in 3 months, 1 year's time. And it did not happen. That sales superstar that we spent a lot of money hiring, luring them over, did not perform. And they were a flop. So it could be the way you sell and the way your competitors sell, maybe different strategies, and that top salesperson in your competitor's company may be used to a certain way of selling and are not accustomed to how you sell. Right? So it could be one of those reasons. So we heard a lot about this, and this happened to sales as well. With hiring people, we have this little thing called suitability and eligibility. So eligibility are things like the qualifications, your experience, your references, your track records, and so on. And suitability is your attitude, your aptitude. Aptitude means how you learn. Do you have the potential to do a certain job? Are you versatile enough to do different things? Do you have a role fit, a culture fit, and so on? So, question for all of you: when hiring salespeople, which of these do you think are more important? How many of you believe that eligibility, experience, track record are more important in sales? How many of you believe that the attitude, the culture fit? Okay. Right. And looking at how our hiring practices are, our sales directors, our sales management, our senior management, how do they base their hiring decision? Do they base it more on eligibility or more on suitability? Eligibility, a lot of us like, oh yeah, this guy's got great track record, is closed so many deals, he's one of the top sales in our industry. So we tend to do a lot of these, and what's going to happen with if you put in a 2x2 thing? Of course, if you have someone that is unsuitable and ineligible, it's not the hiree's problem; it's the hirer's problem, right? Why did you hire this person in the first place? And if you have someone that's unsuitable and eligible, it's a poor fit. If you have someone who's ideal, of course, suitable and eligible, that's ideal. And sometimes someone who's suitable but not very eligible. I'm not saying that they totally don't know what's going on. They have part of it, but not the full picture. A lot of times, some of the best salespeople were former sales engineers or sales support engineers. So these are the engineer people that follows around salespeople. They will scope out the advice on the technical details. They know what customers want. They don't have sales targets to achieve. They just support the salespeople so that you get the technical things right and it fits the customer's requirements. And a lot of times when these sales engineers, when they convert to sales, they become top sales because they know the technical stuff, they know the customers. It's just a matter of are they willing to stretch their comfort zone a little bit and be a bit more assertive with their customers, right? And with the same thing as well. If it's this one, it's no problem. These people will leave anyway. If it's eligible and unsuitable, it's a real problem because they cannot fit in. They create more problems than results. If they are eligible and suitable, sometimes we call them disappointment. Why? Because they are so good. Sorry, Miko. People like Miko will try to entice them to work for someone else. Right? They get better offers everywhere. So they may not stay for a very long time. And of course, what we say is this part is usually a surprise fit. If we can find someone who's not quite there, it's got potential to advance. Are we able to identify strengths and weaknesses? So we do have assessments that are based not on your selling styles, but based on different scenarios. So if you're familiar with assessments, it's called a situation judgment test, and specifically for sales or B2B sales. So we look into when you're prospecting or preparing for customers, what would you do? When you're meeting with customers, are you able to ask the right questions? If customers are not willing to answer, how do you do about it? When you present, do you present to what the customers want rather than what you want to say? When you're following through, do you follow only with the different things that we measure? There are correlations. So it's not just about which part are you good and which part you need improvement. We find that a certain part that you are good or needs improvement in can have some impact on the later stages of sales. Right? So it's just some statistics that we run. So it's just how you want to measure the strengths and weaknesses, and also does the sales leader know what are good practices, and can the sales leaders develop and coach all the good practices to the salespeople. Motivating sales team. Now, we know that sales would like to be motivated by money, And we know that sometimes we are not able to motivate salespeople with money. But that's besides the point. Sometimes, let's just give us a scenario here. Let's say just imagine, it's not real, but just imagine, right? If I ask you to do something, if you're able to do it, I'll give you $1 million US. Would you do it? Yeah, okay. Now, which is the tallest building in Shanghai Tower, right? If you go to Shanghai Tower and you jump from Shanghai Tower, if you don't die, I'll give you that $1 million, right? Would you do it? If you're a smart salesperson, some smart salespeople say, I would do it. I will take 100,000 USD and get a parachute. Right? And then I can jump off and then I collect that 900,000, right? So it really depends on how you look at it. But people are not motivated by this because of the rewards, because they are looking at how can I get the rewards in the first place. So motivation is, in a way, this is a modified expectation theory. So people will think about, okay, the payoff is the reward, the $1 million, it's there. But can I get it? If I jump from Shanghai Tower, will I survive? If my chances of success is 0, then everything is 0. Or my chances of success is so small, then I don't want to risk anything for it. So salespeople, when they're given sales targets, it's the same thing as well. They'll think about, is this target achievable or not? All right, and that's just one part of the equation. The other part is, how much effort do I have to do in order to get this result? So this horizontal line is divided. So the greater amount of effort that is required, the lesser I will be motivated. Right? So if I want to achieve a certain sales target, if I do get it, maybe I get a payoff. That's great. Can I do it? Maybe. How much work do I need to do in order to get it? Question mark. And that's one of the reasons why companies are always trying to launch new products. Because the existing product, although it could be the best seller that they have, in a few years' time, it will be obsolete, it will be replaced by newer products. So companies need to launch new products before the existing best sellers go out of fashion. Right? The problem is, many salespeople don't like to sell new products. Even if you give them double bonuses, double pay, double commissions, double everything, or triple everything, they are not going to push new products. And for a simple reason, what are the chances of customers accepting new products? Not very high. How much more effort do I need to put in to sell that new product? Maybe 10 times as much effort. Right? And they're just paying me twice more. The equation does not make sense. So this is how salespeople tend to think. And by the way, salespeople, especially the good ones, are very good in making calculations. They can calculate how much they will be getting in dollars and cents. They will calculate how much they will be getting at the end of the year faster and more accurate than any supercomputer or AI combined. Right? So they know what they know the stuff, where they're heading for. Right. So that's what I have for this very brief discussion. And if we want just to recap, it's about having the right culture, having the right leaders. Are you able to hire the right people, develop the right skills, motivate them the right way? Right?